With Citroën, it was difficult for us. Colin had a completely different way of working with the engineers in Ford and Subaru than how the team wanted things to happen in Citroën. So it was difficult for us to come to terms with that. And I think if we'd have been there for a further year, then you'd have seen much better results. But there's no doubt about it that he did find it difficult in a team where the culture was alien to him.
Despite winning a total of 25 World Rallies, Colin's style was to go for the win, which perhaps prevented him from further titles.
Rallying is one of the most cruel sports in the world because you're sitting there not only dependent on your own abilities, you're depending on a collection of 3,000 nuts, bolts and bits of metal behaving and doing as you want it to do. Colin had been known to break a few of these bits in the past, but sometimes the cars just couldn't keep pace with Colin.
Colin's competitive instinct, natural ability and love for driving often saw him away from his normal environment. In the Los Angeles X Games, he became a firm favourite with American fans. Early in his career, McRae raced a pro-drive BMW at Knock Hill in the British Touring Car Championship, giving Matt Neal a hard time at the hairpin. He also drove a Ferrari 550 in the Le Mans 24-hour race. The team finished third in class.
He was hoping to come back and do another Le Mans. It was one of those things he quite enjoyed. It was very challenging and quite tough, but he certainly did an extremely good job. He didn't in any way sort of show significant difference to the race drivers who've been doing it year after year.
The Ford team were no doubt nervous when Colin's passion for motorbikes led to a blast round Brands Hatch on a Suzuki Superbike.
My hands are killing me. Look at that, nearly worn them out. Great fun though.
We're on board with Colin McRae. McRae versus Marcus Gronholm.
In the Race of Champions, the end-of-year motorsport extravaganza, Colin joined forces with another Scottish hero, David Coulthard.
It was a great pleasure to have him instruct me on how to get used to driving a car sideways, because obviously that was his domain. They have a sort of sixth sense as you know where the car is, what tyre it's leaning on, and the movement of a car, which is much more detailed than is necessary to drive a single-seater. And that's where Colin really excelled.
One of the greatest endurance challenges is the annual Dakar Rally. The event runs over long, ultra-tough special stages on a route from Europe to Dakar, the capital of Senegal. In 2004, and unsure of his World Rally Championship future, Colin competed for the first time.
Sort of strange the way things happened. I was out, then there was a possibility of being back in again with the Subaru deal, and then it came to nothing at the end of the day. But I think the important thing is that I've got Dakar lined up, and you know, a new challenge to really concentrate on.
Colin impressed. However, the Dakar bit back and didn't allow the Scot to finish in his first two attempts. He had agreed to compete for BMW in 2008 and was looking forward to the challenge.
The diesel engine is tremendously torquey, really torquey engine. It's very quiet, so it makes the car quite a pleasure to drive. There's no noise, it's very comfortable, and lots of torque, which is what we need in these type of conditions.
Adapt himself to anything with an engine. He could drive a lawnmower faster than anyone else. And there was a certain flamboyance with everything he did. He didn't just turn up and drive, it was he overdrove. You only have to look back to the British touring car race at a wet Knock Hill, and people couldn't get past him because he was sideways everywhere, and the crowd just rose to him that day. They were sodden watching him. But that was Colin.
Colin was determined to put something back into the sport, and at Goodwood Festival of Speed, the public were given a first glimpse of his latest project. a competition car designed from scratch, the R4.
Initially, his focus was on developing it as a rally car. However, he was aware that, once that had been achieved, that he could widen that appeal of it for a track car, for track days, for corporate entertainment, that type of thing, and even further down the line, perhaps build a road car. Colin thought that perhaps it wouldn't be as quick as the modern car, but a lot more entertaining.
Before it was just driving. I just want to drive, just leave me to it. But of late, I think he was turning himself into a businessman, wanting to know, how do you do this and how do you do that and how do you set that up and what, and I think all these things he was pulling together to drive it forward and to be a successful business for himself.
The news of Colin's accident came as a shock to everyone and prompted thousands of tributes from across the globe.
I have a great passion for all the wheels and engine, and so we lose a lot, I think.
We can't ever forget the amazingly flamboyant driving that he gave us, the fun that we all had.
Just totally natural behind the wheel. It wasn't an effort for him. So one of the true naturally gifted drivers in the world.
I think to most people, Colin kind of defines the brand of the World Rally Championship that everybody knows today.
When I started rallying in WRC, he was the top and the star, and he was a man to follow and a very good driver.
He helped me a lot for my start of my career for many reasons, for especially attacking and stuff, but very good guy.
Because of what he did, also because of his games, Colin McRae is always going to be there.
A wonderful driver, a social time bomb, and a man who loved life.
I watched a boy grow into a man and become a hero, because that's what Colin McRae was. He was a hero.
It's helped us all, basically, to know that there's so many people out there thinking of us. Saw the High Street in Lanark and the day of the memorial service. I think that answers the question that he was world champion, but he was a very, very popular world champion.